Hello and welcome to Primetime Pastimes, the podcast where we talk to people in the wrestling space about their passions outside of wrestling. I'm one of your hosts, Steve, and along with me, as always, is our other host, Gav. Say hello, Gav.
Oh,
Well, everyone knows that I'm no joker. There's three ways this podcast can go. That's good, bad, or mediocre. Yes, our next guest is Callum Crow. Nice to see you, Callum.
Hello, gentlemen. How the devil are we?
Absolutely wonderful, sir. How are you?
Actually, I could be better. A little bit under the weather, but still kicking it.
Right, so a bit flat voice then.
Yeah, a little bit croaky, but I think it adds to it. I think I've realised I kind of like it. I sound a bit deeper, a little bit sexier.
you do sound a bit deeper, actually.
Yeah, I'll take every advantage I can get. Recently I've been doing all right. I take my voice being a little bit deeper at the moment.
Such a wrestler's mentality. I was setting Gav up for a little joke that he made to me personally earlier about being flat, but he hasn't. He
I
hasn't
love
taken the
that.
bait there. There you go. There you go. That was me setting you up and you taking far too long to knock it down. But it's all right. It's fine. So before we talk about our topic today, we are, of course, going to be talking about professional wrestling. So, Callum, tell us, first of all, what your first experiences were with professional wrestling and how you got into that.
So weirdly, my first ever experience with professional wrestling was with a PSP video instead of the game, the video, because basically I grew up broke and I had no access to most television. But I had a cheap PSP and I had one game which I can't remember what it was, but I remember having this WWE video that had Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon at WrestleMania 10 as one of the matches. And I remember watching that match over and over and over, and that would be the first thing that got me into wrestling.
Your cat has just made a debut on the podcast as well. Please tell us who your cat is.
This is Salem. She usually is quite shy, so I'm quite surprised she's here. I do have another one as well called Elvira as well, but she is doing whatever she wants to do.
Hosting video related things, I imagine, Elvira. So, yeah, carry on anyway.
So that's what got me into wrestling originally. Obviously, I always grew up with it. But my era was like Batista, John Cena, that kind of thing, kind of showing my age. But then eventually, I had to kind of put that to the back of my life. Always enjoyed wrestling, always passively watched it, but I never really had that deep passion for it until a couple of years ago, basically. My dad passed away, basically, and I wanted to basically kind of prove something to him because I was quite out of shape. I was a little bit lazy. And he always tried to motivate me, always in the best way. He always tried to motivate me to do a little bit more, be a better person, be a little bit healthier. And basically, after he passed away, I got back into rugby. I played rugby league for a little while. But then I moved to Liverpool and I found there was a wrestling school. I went to Claw, and that's basically where I got my proper start, and I really fell in love with wrestling. Being in there, it was exhilarating. It felt so natural. It felt like it was something that's been missing my whole life. I've always been crazy, a bit wacky, a bit of a misfit. I've always been that kid that's always had too much energy in class and gets in trouble for that. I've always been the kid that's when they got bored, they want to do the stupid things and mess around and throw themselves off of things. And wrestling is that one weird place where all of that is accepted and all of that is loved. And it's the one place where I feel like I am me. And that's why I love wrestling.
And stuff. So tell us, who was it that sort of helped you along that journey? I know you mentioned Claw, but are there any specific trainers there that sort of helped you more than others, or was it just everyone there was sort of pulling their weight and doing?
Honestly, the whole team at Claw is amazing. So you got Dean, obviously Dean Allmark, Sonna Durson, you got Bryony as well. All fantastic. Lucy Sky, that is. All fantastic wrestlers. Jay as well, who owns TNT and Claw himself. He is as basically obviously given me most of my opportunities and built me up into the person I am today. But all the trainers are fantastic, and each of them have given me a different element of to who I am today and how I am. So yeah, I think I can point to different parts of myself in each one of them, I think.
It goes far beyond the trainers at Claw as well. I know obviously there is a class of people there that are all very, very supportive and helping each other out. Talk a little bit about that camaraderie that you have.
Yeah, so that's the same thing. It's a family. You go from like other classes and stuff like that, where it kind of feels like if you're not in the clique, it's very, it's very hard to feel very uncomfortable. In wrestling, everyone's there to fail. It's a weird feeling. Everyone goes into it expecting to mess up, and it's almost encouraged. And it's such a encouraging, loving environment. You have your little obviously I've got my two closest people in wrestling, Lucian and Decker, two other fantastic wrestlers, and we've kind of came into the business all at the same time, pretty much, all with similar aesthetics, and that's how we're kind of put together. But we are really close, and we all kind of motivate each other. But yeah, everyone in Claw as well kind of feels like a friend or a piece of like the family.
Well, that's what I felt when I went. Exactly the same feeling. I'm so below the level of a mixed ability class, but no one made me feel that way.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like, no, just come in, do what you can, and we'll make it work. So yeah, it was great. And it was so much fun to train with you as well. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, wrestling, I think that is also it's a variety show, isn't it? Everyone, it doesn't matter if you're the most athletic person in the world, or if you're the most entertaining person in the world, or silliest, funniest, whatever. There's a niche in wrestling, and you're gonna find whatever it is. You just need to find yourself. Weirdly.
How has the rugby helped you? Was that the only sport you played, or has there been other elements to that?
Yeah, so rugby, I think, really helped. Obviously, I could take it. It was, wrestling, talk about the physical aspect. Physicality for me is easy. It's the daily grind that kills me. You know what I mean? Physicality for me has always been what drives me. Yeah, rugby league really helped me prepare. Not only that, because it taught me my training regime. Kind of also as well, when I came into wrestling, I had that foundation, I had that physical strength. I've now trimmed down a lot actually because of wrestling. I was a lot bigger as well. So originally I was about 220 pounds.
Very expensive.
Yeah, I was a light heavyweight in the UFC. Obviously, as you can see, I'm a lot quicker, a lot leaner. But weirdly, because I've leaned down, I've still got a lot of that muscle, and a lot of that's from wrestling. From rugby.
Rugby.
Yeah, quite proud of my legs from rugby as well.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of skills that you see in those type of sports. Like obviously in America, you get a lot of professional football players that transition across to wrestling. So I can absolutely see the same thing with rugby in the UK scene. So your style as a professional wrestler, how would you describe that, and what are your influences?
Honestly, I think risk taker is the best way to describe it. I don't know if that's a style, but that's the best way to describe it. I put my body on the line. I understand I'm not always the biggest dog in the fight, but as long as I throw myself at you, it's going to do some damage. Yeah, risk taker. I think obviously the easy one to point to is Jeff Hardy. You can look at me and look at my finish, and you can see who I'm inspired by.
Well, now you say it, I can see it. Yeah.
I don't know. If I could get to a smidge of what Jeff Hardy was like, that would be fantastic. But weirdly, one of my biggest influences in wrestling, and someone who I would say is my favorite wrestler of all time, is Dolph Ziggler. And nice. Dolph Ziggler on his selling is something I aspire to be.
Good. I like it when wrestlers talk about selling, because it's less about them and it's more about getting over what the opponent is doing to you. So yeah, that's really, really big.
I want you to look like you've killed me.
Yes, 100%. So you mentioned sort of the era that you watch. Do you watch older wrestling as well? Do you watch current wrestling? What's your sort of tape study revolve around?
Honestly, the most eclectic video taste. I have DVDs, everything from old WXW Gold Carrot stuff to Gold Chikara, things like that. But then obviously, I really love like the mid 2010s of wrestling. Really, like so I watch a lot. That's what a lot of like my influences from. But I love just the most like the Bloodsport is really one of my favorite shows I've ever seen.
I
GCW,
really enjoy that. Yeah,
heavily enjoy that. I love the physicality of it, and I get a lot of influence from that. Just in my, I think my aggression, I want to start presenting, things like that. But yeah, it's the most eclectic taste of videos, and there's no rhyme or reason, but it's just whatever interests me, and I've got yeah.
So you mentioned Bloodsport, just real quick. It's weird Bloodsport because it's very much the strong style of thing of it as well, but it is sort of veering into almost death matchy stuff with the brutality of some of the hits on there. What style are you aiming to go into? Are you trying to be a broad performer like Jeff Hardy, or is a specific style that you ultimately want to get into, like a death match, like a super strong style at places like that? Is there anything you're sort of aiming for on that front?
I think you know what makes it me is something really storyline driven, and the most random promotion I would love to be in is Riot Cabaret. I would love to have the ability to express my character and show my ability on that kind of way, because I feel like I'm quite good in the ring,
Mm-hmm.
but
The theatricality as well.
theatricality is where I think I shine. I think I can. I think we're not just Callum Crow, but I would love to present myself on a wider stage as well.
Great stuff. Well, all the best for that. Let's move on from wrestling now, because that is just one small fraction of the main attraction. I've got an itch to scratch, and it's facts about our feature today, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. So, deemed to be culturally, historically, and aesthetically important by the US Library of Congress, it's the longest running theatrical release in cinema history. Magenta actress Patricia Quinn was stepmother to Dame Maggie Smith's kids at one stage of her life. The phrase Easter eggs in reference to hidden jokes or references in film was actually started via this film, kind of. Several eggs can be seen in the film, and there was an urban legend that was later proved to be untrue, that there was an actual Easter egg hunt that was going on during filming. Much like our prior episode, Phantom of the Opera, check that out. Princess Diana was a massive fan of the show, but as far as we know, there was no video performance this time as a gift to the then Prince Charles. Tim Curry once tried to attend a midnight showing of the film, but ticket agents didn't believe it was really him, saying, "You're the third Tim Curry we've had this week." Many props and sets for the film were based off an old Hammer horror production. The main filming location, Oakley House, is the same location as Hammer Horror's famous film, The Brides of Dracula. Widely considered to be the breakout role of Meatloaf's career, didn't just appear in the film. He also appeared as Eddie and Dr. Scott on the show in a dual role, and he was also Frankenfurter on at least one occasion. Barry Bostwick and Susan Sarandon were dating during casting. Sarandon's agent wouldn't let her audition for the role, so very slyly, producers asked her to read alongside Bostwick in his audition. She was then later offered the part. According to O'Brien, the pair entering into the new production was very much helpful of the vibe, because they were seen as the outsiders, where so many of the previous cast had worked together before. So, that's enough facts. Let's explore our feelings. What was your first exposure to Rocky Horror?
So previously mentioned my influence, but it was my dad. My dad, obviously, from Halloween, first ever influence was obviously, Time Warp, and ritual had to be, I had to do it at least once at Halloween. Couldn't get through Halloween without doing it. Even the one time we were randomly on holiday, maybe do it in Spain in the middle of a cheap bar somewhere.
It's so weird because so many kids did the time warp and continue to do the time warp, but it's not a kid-friendly piece of media at all.
No, it's brilliant. I love it. But I think that again, that's also what kind of got me out my comfort zone, is doing silly dances like that and stuff like that. You know, watching that movie, and just be how expressive it was. I think you can kind of see a little bit of hopefully influence from that movie. Just 100%. How I am.
So we've skipped over some beats. So you're dancing for the time warp as a child. When was the first time that you actually watched the film? Did you have to beg your dad to see it?
No. So it was very much, this is what you're going to be watching because it's a fantastic movie and you will also love it too. And I did. To be fair, it was, I can't remember the first time I watched it, but me and my dad used to watch it all the time. And that's just kind of stuck with me, really. But yeah, it was from very, very young age, and it was I think I got that trait from my dad. It would be probably once a month he would watch it or bring it up in some way.
Obviously, I saw the creeper shoes you had on at TNT, and that's where it all was like, ooh.
That was a lovely present from my partner.
They were just amazing.
Brilliant.
With the lips on and everything, they're so cool. And that's how this podcast was born.
So, how much of the film did you actually understand as a kid, though? That's the question I got.
No, for me, when I was a kid, it was just singing and dancing, and then I understood the main character was obviously like a transvestite, and that was like put that on the nose. That was it. It was just like, but I didn't understand the deeper meanings to it as well. But I think even just the visuals alone as a movie it's fantastic, and you don't have to read into it to just enjoy it. But also,
no, you really don't. I was going to say about the visuals as well. One of the fun little things that I know about the film is that it was made to look cheap in certain sections, and it's weird because obviously you're a little bit younger than me, and I find it weird to wrap my head around the fact that people watch a film as old as 1975 with effects as bad as this, but it yet somehow still holds up.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's probably got nostalgia and some kind of like deeper meaning for this movie to me. But yeah, like you say, it's so simple, but it's so complicated and it's so brilliant. I think just like the characters like Riff Raff, it's just the way he is and the way he presents himself, and just the acting alone is enough to captivate you. It doesn't need all the bells and whistles. It doesn't need special effects. It just needs the ability of the people in it.
And that's another thing I like about this show, that so much of the way people talk about this is the characteristics, whereas in some musicals they talk about the songs themselves. They very much take a back foot to the characters in this, and I think that was very much a plan of the producers as well. Like, as much as I love Tim Curry, he does not hit some of those notes, and he's not as technically sound as some people. So it's good that you enjoy the character. You mentioned Riff Raff. Is that your favourite character, or is the others?
So I do love Riff Raff. I've grown to love it. I used to be scared of Riff Raff as a kid, be terrified. I didn't understand him. He just creeped me out. But now I love him. I think he is, might have to bleep this out, a cunty little man. He is brilliant. I love his little sass, even though he's so monotone. Yeah, I think he's like, I've grown to love Riff Raff as my favorite character. Like I said, originally terrified, didn't understand him, awful.
No, I'm with you. I don't think he has the best song, but I do think he has the best line in the Frankenstein's place, where he sings that ballady, somber moment of over at the Frankenstein's place. That's one of my favorite bits of the entire show. Is he the villain? Is it Frankenfurter? Is it Dr. Von Scott? Who is the villain in this film?
I think that's up to interpretation, really. I think that's who. So, for some reason, I always root for Frank. You know, I think that's always myself. But I think it's also something you can love about this movie is you can interpret it in so many ways, and you can, you know, it can mean different things to different people, I think.
He's always been my villain. Riff Raff.
I think he's the villain. Dr. Scott.
Yeah. Dr. Scott. I get that. 100%.
It ruined the party.
Yeah. And he's a suggested he's somewhat Nazi-ish as well with the Dr. Von Scott stuff. Yeah. Hey, I'm not saying it. That's implied. It's all in there. Just a little one. Talk about other characters that mean a lot to you. So obviously that's the villain. Everyone's going to say Frankfurter as the main character. Let's take Frankenfurter out of the picture. Who is the character that you drawn to more than sort of anyone else, including Riff Raff as well? But I'm really sort of asking about the human characters here, not the sort of aliens. Who do you empathize with it being Dr. Scott, Brad, Janet, Eddie, even Columbia? Which of those two characters?
I was always say Columbia. I feel like it's really, she's such like a bright spark in the movie, but then is so disregarded and so just downtrodden by everyone. Like she has so much love for so many people, like loving for Eddie, but then loses everything, has nothing by the end of it.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I think Columbia is absolutely fantastic, and like you say, she is the warm spark and the heart of the film in many ways. I always hated the fact that Magenta ended up sort of turning her back on Columbia when they seemed to be so close earlier in the film.
She's shaving each other's legs.
Yeah,
and then yeah.
All a ploy.
Is it a ploy?
Oh yeah, because they've got their motives, haven't they? Both of them, Riff Raff and Magenta, are the villains, I think. So.
I was going to ask you if you thought they were the villains, but Magenta sort of just goes along with Riff Raff as well, though. So I don't know. It's difficult. Like we said earlier, there could be three. There could be three villains. There could be three villains in this film. It's a weird film, really, for that. By the end of the film, you are 100% on the side of Frankenfurter. As soon as he starts singing "I'm Going Home," it's just absolutely heartbreaking.
I said there's every emotion in it as well. You know, there's joy, there's acceptance, there's fear, there's it's a roller coaster, and it's gut wrenching.
It is. And obviously there's ties to the queer community for this, but that "I'm Going Home" song, and then when it ends with "Don't Dream It Be It," it's relatable to so many different people.
Yeah, you say it's like I said, I think it's a movie about acceptance in many ways. You know what I mean? It's just about being yourself, loving who you are, and even if that makes you the most bonkers, most outstanding person, whatever, you know what I mean?
One thing I was going to actually ask it because I thought you might know, Steve, or you might know, Callum, on when they actually bring Rocky alive, all the colours they use are the pride flag. Is it not?
I didn't get onto that at all. Possibly.
In the liquid, it looks like it. If you look at it, I'm not sure it's right, but it does very much have that symbolism, which I thought was really quite good.
It's very, very possible. It's not something I've ever been told or picked up on, but it's very, very possible. This wasn't something that was. I mean, obviously, I'm a film geek. This wasn't something that was particularly just Rocky that had done this, because they've done this in other films as well, where you see different colors blending together. Typically it's red and green, because those two colors go together, that they're supposed to mess with your head, and you're supposed to think they aren't supposed to go together, which is why Freddy Krueger's jumper is red and green, and why everyone feels a bit weird, and you like a lot of horror films at Christmas, because red and green are never supposed to go together. No, red and green not to be seen. Is that the thing they say?
The one. Yeah,
green should never be seen without a colour in between.
There you go.
Thank you, disembodied voice of Lauren. You Google the pride flag thing as well if you can. That'd be great to know at some point.
Yeah, Yeah, that'd be really good to know because I'm just wondering if that where it might come from. I don't know. It was just quite interesting when I
couldn't tell you. Talking about the sets, though, the sets are something that's a really, really big part of this film. Do you have any favourite set pieces, Callum? Whether it be the laboratory or the dinner table or the stage at the end, any particular favourites that you like visually?
Love the elevator. I love the elevator. It's the elevator and the staircase when the magenta like gold comes down. That little the dusty area and how creepy people love it. Also, as well, I love the Zen room.
Yeah, the Zen room's very good. Yeah,
I love.
I like that.
Yeah, and say that as it is. Yeah, leave it as it is.
Go to the time warp thing. I don't know if you know this, but do you know that originally there was a version of this film which was the Wizard of Oz version where everything was black and white up until you see the time warp and then everything goes wham and everything's color.
I did not know actually.
Yeah, fascinating, that, isn't it?
No, no, I've seen the US and the UK version, but other than that, no, I did not know that.
Quite hard to get, and apparently it doesn't really work either. I think it was better in the mind sight than it was in actual practicality because they immediately cut back to the criminologist, and it goes quite drab again. And everyone who has seen it says, "Yeah, it's good in theory, but it's not quite as good," you know, which is a shame because I really really love that. Favorite outfits of Frankenfurter?
Oh, it's got to be the doctor's outfit for me.
Well, so I actually, for last Halloween, I dressed up as Frankenfurter, and it was the full lingerie, tights, everything. And that's going
with the mother's pearl thing.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
I have my own pearls, though, so I don't need to get them. But yeah, no, high heels, everything. I think that's got to be the iconic, but that's my favourite outfit.
So we talked very briefly before we started recording, and we were going to keep this strictly to the Rocky Horror Picture Show rather than the stage show. But I do want to ask: have you been to an audience participation version of this film, or is it purely been just you watching it on DVD or VHS, etc.?
I've been twice live. One was a friend's. They were doing it as their stage show. And then one was a show in Liverpool as well.
Have you ever been to one of the? It might have been.
Was that again?
Might be the same one we went to. Actually, you never know. It wasn't long ago. It was the last showing, I think, in Liverpool. So
possibly.
It's because I used to work in cinemas and I tried putting this on once and tried to get everyone to get involved with it. But have you heard of the shadow casts of Rocky Horror Show?
Like little shouts and such like.
So what they do is they play the entire film, but they have actors in costume, big spotlight on them, going through the motions of the film. They're the shadow cast. So it becomes a very, very performative thing as well. They've done it a few times in this country, but it's not massive. And I tried to sort of semi-organize one once, but it didn't really happen. And it's they also have these. Again, it's more of an American thing, but they have this audience participation where when they're raining, when they're going to the Frankenstein place, people will get water pistols out and shoot water pistols in the air. At the wedding scene, people will throw rice. It's not something I've ever been a part of, and I'm gutted because it just looks so good, especially the shadow casting.
Yeah, the theatre show we went to, we were like second row.
Right.
Like, it was really good, and there was some in front with the water pistols, and they turned around during the show and started shooting people, and no one got angry because they knew it was part of the experience. So,
when I tried organising it, that we had to put something out because I was working for a big cinema chain. We had to put something out saying this isn't an audience participation thing, and part of me was like, "Damn it." But hey, never mind. So obviously, Callum, very theatrical, and that's what you like about it. Do you do it as karaoke?
Oh God, yeah. The Sweet Transvestite. That's my go-to karaoke song.
Excellent. That was one of the next questions for that. Okay, so karaoke night. You can only put 3 entries in. Sweet Transvestite is one. What are the other 2?
I go off what the karaoke machine might have, but it might be I Write Sins Not Tragedies from Panic at the Disco.
Okay.
Available. And then it's usually something really easy and cheesy, like Go the Distance, Hercules, or something like that.
Well, I'm glad you said that. What I meant was specifically from this film. But I'm so glad we've got that insight now.
You've got the whole. That is my go-to roster. I would say when I go to the yeah.
Give me two more from this film.
Hot Patootie.
Great. Difficult one to sing. That difficult one to sing.
Where's my soul? No, yeah, no, I can't. But I like to think I sound beautiful singing it.
Right.
I'm torn between Janet or just going to Time Warp.
That's fair.
I think I'm torn between those two because I do quite like Janet as well as a road choice.
From personal experience, Time Warp is great as a group song because I do the narrator bit and then everyone else does the let's do the Time Warp. So I look out on that one. Damn it, Janet's fun too as well. But yeah, what are your favourite songs from the show then off the back of that? Are they the same as your karaoke songs or are they different?
No, so I'd say that those probably are some of my favourite songs. Hot Pursuit as well, one of my favourite ones. But yeah, Time Warp is what obviously captured the like. I think Time Warp was my favourite song of all of them. But Hot Pursuit and Damn It Janet. It's one of those are my top three, I think.
So fun. So talking about Damn It Janet, one thing that again we talked about Easter eggs earlier. One thing that I love about that is you can see Tim Curry and Magenta and Columbia behind. Magenta and Riff Raff as the vicars or the priests or whoever they were behind that, and you can see the criminologists sort of circling them.
That's my 3-point fact. Whenever I show someone the movie, I'm like, look at that.
Oh no, very good.
Frankenfurter is actually the minister for the wedding.
Frankenfurter is
that's what I meant. Yeah.
Columbia is in the second scene as well when they go into the church.
Riff Raff is the classic pitchfork villager sort of thing.
It's a famous painting, and I cannot remember the name of it. And
I can't either.
My mind was just saying the wrong things then, so please excuse me. Let's say, are there any songs in this that you dislike, Callum? Or separate question, but I want you to answer as well. Is there anything that you would remove from the show if you had to? So pick one song to remove. Tell me if there's any songs that you dislike.
I'm not a fan of Rocky's song, weirdly, but I don't know why. I
mean, the Sword of Damocles?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's
no crime.
I'm not. I've never been a big fan of it. I can't. For some reason, I know it's Rocky Horror Picture Show. Rocky is my least favorite character. I think I'd say out of the show.
That because he's not really sort of it, is he? He's just like a force of nature or a plot point. He's not really a character. So.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's a plot. I feel like a plot point. It doesn't. Obviously, he's only like a couple of days old, but like it's not.
One would say he's just 7 hours old.
Just 7 hours old. Yeah. Actually, my
least favourite.
What was that, Gav?
What's your least favourite? Mine's Touch Me. I don't like that one at all.
Touch me.
Yeah, it's awful.
I'm going to be very, 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 very controversial. And I think that the song that you can lift right out of this film, and it makes no difference.
We are no longer friends.
Not.
That's not what I was going to say. I actually really enjoy Hot Patootie. I was actually singing Hot Patootie when I was training at pinfall the other week, and that was complete. I didn't even know I was doing this then, but I was just literally singing it. I was really annoying people. I was like, "What song is that?" So you'll never get it. No, I didn't get it. No, I think you can lift this song straight out the musical, and it makes no difference whatsoever. The Time Warp.
Yeah.
I know. I know. I'm so sorry. It's a great song. I think all of the songs in this are great. I even like Sword of Damocles. But yeah, I think much like we said in the Phantom of the Opera episode. Check that episode out now. You can. It's the pop. It's a pop song, and yes, it will get a lot of the kids involved later in life, as is seen by Callum here. But I just think it doesn't fit. I think you could literally walking through the rain and everything is drab and all the Transylvanians are all around, and I think you could literally just go straight into Sweet Transvestite. I don't think it's needed.
I mean, my first experience, my auntie knew Damien, who sung the later version, who made it a hit,
right?
From a club in Ashton. So obviously I heard the song and then got told, oh yeah, I know him. And then that's how I got into the film. That's the only reason. So
asterisk on that though. What if it's not the song, or is the position of the song? Should it have been after this instead of before, but after Sweet Transvestite?
I think it works because it does. It enters you. I am not saying that Time Warp is a bad song at all. I'm not saying I dislike it in the film. I just think you can completely lift it out and it doesn't make any difference. I think it's good because you've gone from this boring world of Benton and everything's all, well, gee willikers, Janet. And then you've gone into this, what are these people? So I think it's very good at setting the scene of who they are. And I don't think you could put it anywhere else in the film and have it have as much impact. By the same respect, get that out of here if you need to. If you need to lose one, get it right out of here. I just don't think it's. I don't think it has that much as much impact as it thinks it does because it is the pop hit that you can just. Everyone knows the Time Warp. You play it on an advert for a DFS sofa. You know what I mean? It's the broadest of broads. I just think for the content of this film, you can just get right out of here. So anyway, so what are you losing, Callum? Because if you have said it, I've moved past that in my mind now. So what song are you losing?
Sword of Damocles.
Sword of Damocles.
Yeah,
that's fine. Is it because you don't like the song, or is it you don't think it says anything?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the song. I think if he's going to be just a plot point, he doesn't need a song because, yeah, I don't know. It's just, as I said, I'm not a fan of Rocky.
Oh, that's fine. I do think I do sort of see what you're saying. I think that would probably be my second choice for a song to get rid of because you could just explain, oh yeah, I've made a man, and people are like, all right, cool. You don't need a song talking about how he did it and all that jazz. Gav, what thoughts do you have on this?
Oh, mine touched me. It's just it just grates me. It's the only one that grates on me.
Well, why? Is it you don't like the song, or is it you don't think narratively it does much?
There's no point to it.
No, but I also hate Susan Sarandon's. Oh,
guys, she was feeling done in.
I personally think there's a story of temptation as well in Rocky, and forgive the police going past my house. But I think there's a story of temptation and how it shows even the most pure person in Janet can be corrupted by temptation. I think that song kind of shows her change into that. Yeah, she's given into temptation.
100% agree. I think that is a vital song because it is her saying, "Well, maybe boring old Brad isn't the be all and end all." It is the awakening of the film. It is Janet in that moment. So I think it's very, very needed, and it's a great song in my opinion.
I like that song too.
Yeah, she'd only ever kissed before, Gav.
All round.
She'd only ever kissed before. She'd only ever kissed before. You know what that means? Yeah.
Well, she was literally in bed with Frankenstein not 30 seconds ago, doing a lot more. So,
incidentally, that's one of my favourite scenes of the entire film as well, and it's got nothing to do with music. It's just, oh, I'm sorry, Brad. Oh, I'm sorry, Janet. It's so funny where they're in bed and he's pretending to be the one.
It's just great.
So funny, and it's really funny the way they do it at the stage show as well. I think it's funnier in the stage show than it is on film because it's all like a vertical bed and it's all done with shadows. It's so funny, so funny. What is your favorite non-musical part of the film, Callum?
That, Joe, I was about to say that's one of my favorite parts of the movie. It genuinely is. It's one of my favorite parts of the movie. I think it just that also it's so challenging, that scene as well, especially when it was like released 1975. I think just having like that on TV or how is just wild, and just how challenging it was. But also as well, I think it shows that like both of them that kind of corruption side, that giving into temptation, giving into your desires, and being almost like the person you want to be, no matter what it is. If it feels right, it feels right.
It's kind of one of the two big scenes where there isn't a musical number, and the second biggest scene is when they're all around the dinner table, and obviously the poor disembodied Eddie is being served to them, which I also quite enjoyed. Another fun bonus fact about that: none of the cast knew that Eddie's body was underneath that table. So when they pulled off the thing and everyone saw the body, that was a real reaction.
I love the prop though. I just love how
so bad.
It's so, can you not tell? See the detail in it in the paper.
Yes. Papier mâché. Well, as I alluded to earlier, though, some of the props and the effects were meant to look so bad because it was all like a thematic choice. And the producer said he would never say which effects were that bad intentionally and which weren't, because he wanted the audience to keep guessing. But yeah,
probably the laser effects coming out of the pitchfork are probably the worst, I think. But good.
I've seen worse. It's 1975. It's like. It is what it is. Bouncing off the chest, maybe. Bouncing off the chest was awful with the laser fork. So when Eddie, spoiler alert for 1975's Rocky Horror Picture Show, but when Rocky does finally die, how do we feel about that, Callum? If you don't like him as a character, did it have any emotional stakes to you?
I think the emotional stakes for me was when Frank died, and the emotion that comes out of Rocky, considering how toxic and abusive their relationship is in such a short amount of time, and the emotion from it, and it's like, is that of one of a lover, or as one of a creator? And it's
kind of both.
Yeah,
it's kind of both.
And it's just that raw emotion. And I think that even though I don't like Rocky, I think that's my favorite scene with Rocky. Is just that it just shows that almost like even though he's emotional, he's almost conflict as well in himself, is because of how he was treated.
He's also only got half a brain, and what we've got to bear in mind is the subtext was that Eddie very much loved Frankenfurter as well, so that could have been in there.
And there's also the nod at the start of the movie to King Kong, and obviously that whole to that scene and such. Like it's literally meant to start the movie, and it basically tells you the finish.
It does. Yeah.
I like that kind of like mirroring image.
And you talk about that. That is my favorite. Both versions are my favorite song of the film. The science fiction double feature. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. The stage show, it was done via the magenta character dressed as an usherette. On the film, it was Richard O'Brien's lip and the actress Patricia Quinn. Patricia Quinn's lips and Richard O'Brien doing the song. I prefer the stage show again, but very, very memorable moments. The lips weren't the original poster, but they certainly became the most important part of and most recognizable part of Rocky Horror Show. Gav, what did you say? What your favorite song was, or because if we have, I might have completely missed that.
See, I thought it was double feature. I'm not so sure now, because obviously rewatching it recently, I don't know really.
It's definitely science fiction double feature for me, but I like them all. There's not a single song that I'll skip.
No, I like them all. That is the thing. It probably is the Frankenfurter at the end. It probably is going home for the emotion in it. It probably is.
Oh, it's heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking in that regard. Excuse me. Okay, so it's been called the most important cult film of all time. Why do you think that Rocky Horror Picture Show has endured for as long as it has, Callum?
I think what I said before. It's up to interpretation. It can mean so many things to so many people. It can be a light-hearted musical for some people with lots of singing and dancing, but for others, it can speak to them about acceptance and loving themselves. And like I said before, it's a really challenging movie while also being really light-hearted. And I think that's what speaks to everyone. Is they can be whatever it is to you, basically.
It's a really, really easy watch. Quite a short film as well. In retrospect, I guess. So that's a rock musical. Is that the only rock musical that speaks to you, or did your dad get you to watch other rock musicals at the time?
No, so that was what I'm not I'm not a musical guy, but Rocky Horror was my favorite movie. I've never been a musical guy other than like I said before, Hercules. I don't mind Hercules, but that's a Disney movie. But yeah, other than that, I'm not really a musical guy.
That's fair enough. It's not for everyone. And sometimes you watch musicals and don't even realize it, as silly as that sounds. Sinners has come out recently. Absolutely a musical. But I've had multiple conversations with people and said, oh, yeah, I love Sinners. It was brilliant. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize you enjoy musicals. It's not a musical. That is very much a musical. The amount of musical content in that film. When I was putting on the little film festivals that I used to do, I paired it with Little Shop of Horrors. I think that's a fantastic pairing of two films.
I'm lying. I do like Little Shop of Horrors to be fair as well.
Thought you might. I was expecting you to say something like Jesus Christ Superstar, Little Shop of Horrors, Hair, things like that. But yeah, Little Shop of Horrors is great.
I do like Little Shop of Horrors. Little Shop of Horrors was introduced by my sister Whitley because she was doing the dentist for her A levels in drama. So that's where I first watched it, and then I got into the movies from there.
Weirdly, there is a connection with the dentist because Steve Martin auditioned to play Brad Majors in this, and eventually did get it, but eventually got the part for the dentist in Little Shop of Horrors. So there you go.
I love the little facts.
Well, I do enjoy a fact or three. So talking about casting, that moves me swiftly on to my next question. I'm not going to ask you to recast the entire show, but if there was a god-awful remake they did about this a few years ago with, is it Victoria Justice or whoever it was? Anyway, whatever it was bloody awful. I want you to recast Rocky Horror with at least a few of today's sort of top megastar people. And I'm not asking you to cast the whole person. Get me Frank, get me Brad and Janet, and then anyone else you want to throw in there as well.
I want to go straight in with Rocky. I think Jacob Elordi would do an amazing job as Rocky.
Yes.
But just weirdly because of his job in Frankenstein or the Frankenstein monster, as I think he could do that role so well and still be that physically attractive guy that you need as well. I think he'd give the
I'm surprised. Your logic on this is brilliant, but I'm surprised you didn't have him as Frankenfurter. He could do the Frankenfurter thing as well. Especially with how he is in Euphoria, because he's quite toxic.
Yeah, but I think he's almost. It sounds really. He's almost too conventionally good looking.
Okay, I get that.
Frankenfurter is meant to be a little bit out there, a little bit unconventional. It's meant to be a little bit quirky. I think Rocky is meant to be the idyllic man, and currently in the current generation, everyone talks about Jacob Elordi.
Let's meet in halfway in the middle. Let's have him, Jacob Elordi, in the Frankenstein makeup with actual makeup over the top.
I would love it. Do you know, it took him, was it like 12 hours to get into that makeup originally? Imagine the makeup on top
Something
of it as
like
well.
That. I'm there for it. Okay, so you've got Rocky. So try and give me any of the cast, but I'm very interested in Frankenfurter and Brad and Janet.
Okay. It's hard to think about someone as iconic for Frankenfurter in today's generation. Would it be a cop-out? Would it be a cop-out to say someone like Johnny Depp? That I know he said something.
No, that's fine.
Because I think he gives that kind of energy, but as well, he can. I don't know. I feel like that feels like a bit of a cop-out answer. But would he be too old? I don't know. Also, as well,
I don't think
add to it. I don't know. Could you imagine Johnny Depp in that outfit though as well?
I really can. I really can. I've had a thought for this one. Javier Bardem.
Okay.
As Frankenfurter.
Never heard of him.
Google him. He was a Bond villain. He was in No Country for Old Men. He's physically imposing, little quirky skin.
Yeah.
He does the queer thing very, very well as well. That's my pick.
Well, what the guy that played Jeffrey Dahmer? He might work as well.
Oh God, what's his name? But yes, him too.
No, I've forgotten the actor's name, but I feel thinking of a Brad. Have you ever watched Spider-Man Chronicles?
I'm aware of it. I can't remember if I watched it or not.
The lead actor now, he's older. He has that. He's in the Doctor's show. I can't think of it now, but he has that kind of straight cut, like presence that Brad would have. I think he's
Freddie Highmore.
But yes.
I know it. Yes, I can see that. I absolutely see that.
I thought of the guy from there was this Criminal Minds, like the geeky guy from that.
Yep.
That's who I kind of thought was a Brad sort of guy.
Yeah, I get that. Right. So last one, Janet. Anyone for Janet?
Yeah. I honestly cannot think of anyone for that one at the minute.
We've cast them wrong because the ages are so different. But I'd have the girl from Stranger Things. I think she's got that Americana look to her.
Yeah,
well too young.
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
But the pair of them as well, actually, Brad and Janet as well. Like Steve as well.
Oh yeah, she'd be great. Yeah. Steve would be fantastic as Brad. Yeah.
To be fair, the guy who
plays have chemistry as well already.
The guy who plays Vecna would work for Frankenfurter. Not going to lie, visually, facially, he's very, very good.
I've just remembered a name, Maya Hawke. I don't know why I didn't think about her name, considering it's Uma Thurman's kid. But yeah, Maya Hawke, and yeah, that'd be great with Steve. Yeah, fantastic. I'd love that. Right, we did it, guys. Well done. So there's a light over at the Frankenstein place, which can mean there's only one thing. We're coming to the end of the podcast, but before we do, I do want to give a game. So we've had a bit of a game. I want to do the full game now, and I want to talk about proposed sequels to the Rocky Horror Show. So I'm going to run down a list of sequels. Several of them are ones that I've made up. Several of them are real pitches. And Callum, I want you to tell me if they are real or if your boy Steve has made them up.
I'm gonna fail this, but let's go.
We'll see. Okay. Revenge of the Old Queen. Frankenfurter's mother sends General Riffraff to Earth to take revenge for what our society did to Frankenfurter.
False. Fake.
What do you reckon, Gav?
Yeah, that'd be real. That'd be weird enough to be real.
Is the correct answer. It is real. That is a real pitch that never happened, sadly, but I'd have liked to have seen that just because the Revenge of the Old Queen is such a cool title.
I thought this was just you pitching your own idea then.
No. There will be a couple of my ideas, but no.
I thought you were going straight away then.
Right. Death comes to Denton. Brad and Janet return home to find the town in a coma, and the Transylvanians looking for a mysterious piece of machinery that will bring an army to Earth to invade.
I'm going to go with false again, though, but I feel like that's The army is
Steve, that's all Steve.
You nailed me. You got me, guys. That is all me. So well done. So the next one, Rocky and Eddie get head. The basement transducer resurrects Rocky and Eddie at the same time. Before the castle transports to transsexual Transylvania, the pair take on the evil queen and try to get another brain to replace their missing two halves.
What's the name of the movie again?
Rocky and Eddie get head.
It's going to be real.
It works because they've got half a brain split between them.
I'm going to go.
Makes sense.
Real. I'm going to go. That's why I didn't get through, but I'm going to say it's real.
You think it's real? What do you reckon,
Let's go one more time.
Yeah, it's got to be real.
Okay. Rocky and Eddie get head.
Yeah, I'm going to go it's real.
Both of you think it's real?
Yeah.
It's too easy. That was me. That was all me.
Oh.
Yeah, all me, that one. Okay. Rocky Horror, The Second Coming. Brad's brother Steve. Brad's brother. Rocky's brother Steve. I don't know why I've just said this twice. Frankenfurter's brother Steve, I do apologize, comes to Earth seeking revenge on Riff Raff and Magenta. It is revealed that Janet is pregnant with Frankenfurter's child. Ignore the slip up at the beginning. That's me not reading my own writing. So Frankenfurter's brother Steve comes to Earth looking for revenge on Riff Raff and Magenta, and it's revealed that Janet is pregnant with Frankenfurter's child. That's Rocky Horror, The Second Coming.
I'm going to go. That's you brainchild.
No, that's a real one. That's real for me.
Now, Gav thinks that's real. Callum thinks that's all me again. It's real. Believe it or not, it is real. Okay. Rocky Horror shows his heels. Frankenfurter would have been revived, and we find out Frankie is the one that is pregnant. Riff Raff and Magenta would have tried to steal the baby.
False.
Yeah, false, that one.
False?
Yeah.
It is real.
At least I didn't make him. That's the main thing.
At least I didn't make him. All right, final one now.
The original at this point.
Shock treatment. Brad and Janet return to Denton and take part in a game show, and the town has been taken over by a reality TV company.
We're false again.
Yeah, that's again. You. That's got to be you.
So this is the last one, and you're both saying that it's me and I'm full of shit. Just to get that clear. Not only is it real, it got made in 1981. There is a sequel to Rocky Horror Show called Shock Treatment that was made in 1981. And guys, it is not good.
I can quite imagine.
There's one decent song, and it's "Oh, Shock Treatment, baby, you're a real live wire," and that is it.
So they had an extra song, and they made a whole movie out of it, basically.
Pretty much, it was not good. But I will give it credit though that it was very ahead of its time in sort of foreseeing the whole reality TV thing. So
yeah,
I'll give it that.
That's why I thought it was fake, because it's way too early. But oh well.
Oh, there you go. Well, the podcast is just about an hour's old. Truly beautiful to behold. Alan, where can we find you on social media?
I am on Instagram and I am also on TikTok. It is Callum Crow PW on everything. If you want to as well, drop me a follow, drop me a little like, and if you really feel like it, you can drop me a little message as long as it's nice.
We never heard your Frankenfurter impression though either.
Who?
You never
How did you do that? See if met my faithful handyman. He's just a little brought down because when you knocked, He thought you were the Candyman. Is that good enough?
That's good enough.
That's good.
That's the best way we could possibly have ended this show, except for the fact that I'm going to ask everyone, if you want to appear on Talk the Line via Primetime Pastimes and you are working in the wrestling space, please let us know. Otherwise, thank you very much to our awesome guest, Callum Crow. Thank you for listening. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening, depending on when you listen to this. Bye.
Bye.